It means a place of solitude that you can get away from your troubles. You can lose yourself in the woods. You can lose yourself at the lake. Lose yourself at the river. But, as I mentioned before, when I go to Camp Lewallen, I look at it as a homecoming, if you will, to see my old brothers that I've known since I was a child, to see new brothers that I'm just now getting acquainted with, and it's a happy place. You know, there's no sad memories that I can think of at Camp Lewallen. There's some things that I would like to see change. Yeah, but it's the happy times that you remember and you want to remember about Camp Lewallen, and you want to see it persevere so that the experiences that you've had there can be shared with others.
It's home. It's home. When I drive down Route K and I top the hill and I see Logan, the stress just goes away.
I mean, Camp Lewallen shaped so many lives, and always for the better, whether it's molding them into good men, making lasting, lifetime-long friendships. I mean, you see it in other people too. They grow up, they either go off to school or off in the military or whatever else, they end up having their families, and then they get bit by that bug and they always come back. And you see them come back and they might already even be gray-haired or no-haired, and they're ready, they're just as gung-ho as they were. They're like, hey man, I want to join the quartermaster corps, or maybe I might want to go back to being on staff again, or whatever else. They were out here every weekend. They can come do projects that aren't even in an event, like when we came out and did these showers and getting those hammock stands put in and finishing them off. And it's truly awesome to see how much it impacts and how much everybody gravitates to this place, and that people come here from out of council and they say, man, you guys have a wonderful camp. We can't wait to come back. And if that doesn't sum it up, I don't know how better else to say it. It's a home away from home. I don't know if it's the water. I don't know what it is, but there's something here about this place that's magical. It just sucks you in and doesn't let go.
Well, this has been an area where I have probably participated in the strongest friendships I've ever had in my life from the people that are out here. And I was a college athlete, and being on teams with people, you get awfully close, and I'm close to a lot of my team, but the people that I've met out here will be my pallbearers. They'll be the ones that'll take me to my grave. I mean, that's what I could say. The best, that's my cherished memory. It's just the brotherhood and the friendship. All the people.
And now I might get weepy. I've been hydrating all day. Anyway, it is so cool because summer camp. My parents started taking us camping when I was 6. And I say that because my younger brother, who's a year younger than me, and I were not allowed to go camping. The first year they went camping with my two older brothers. And so we had to be old enough and we had to roll our own sleeping bags. And so camping was something we always did. And so when we were old enough, my folks sent us all to scout camp, you know. And so scout camp is a way of being not just outdoors, being kind of on your own too, you know, that independence, the I can do it, I won't fall apart and be sent home and have to go home Wednesday, you know, that sort of thing. The idea that I'll survive and I'll be okay. But for me, it's just being outdoors. Like when I was in college, I spent 2 summers as a counselor, and that third summer, when I was sitting in a building all day, doing a job all day, at the end of the day, I would go outside and sit in the heat and under trees because I missed being outside under the trees so badly. You know, because, you know, those 2 years had followed, you know, a few years of being a scout at camp too. So you miss the trees when they're gone. And it's probably the oxygen, and that's the truth. The Japanese figured this out, smart people. But, you know, yeah, really. But anyway, it's the outdoors, it's the independence, it's the activities you can't do, you know, canoeing and kayaking and river floats, and it's like hiking up the hills. I mean, I went to Philmont, and I say I got snookered into that, but we get snookered into things that are really quite good for us. So, you know, we learn things about ourselves too.
Yeah. Home. 4-letter word.
Home.
Yep. Home away from home.
Camp Lewallen was a place when I was a youth that I fit right in with everybody else. There wasn't all the conflict there is in the world now and everything else. Everybody got along. Now, everybody had their little, you know, miffs, but as far as it didn't matter if you and the guy in the next campsite didn't get along, if there was something happened, you was both side by side. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's the way things was back in the 70s. And I think we've strayed away from that a lot, but back in those days, in my opinion, a boy could come to camp and not have to worry about what society thought of him. He was free to be himself at camp. And to me, there are a lot of boys that flourished from having that opportunity. Even years ago. There's a lot of guys I've seen that when they come to camp, they was so quiet and reserved, they couldn't do nothing. But knowing that they were accepted by everybody else, that opened them up to possibilities, and that gave them so much growth. And I have seen that. Well, I've been doing this. I've been in Scouts since I was 6 years old. I'm 62. Mm-hmm. So 56 years I've been doing this. Been coming to camp 50 years. And I may not have made the whole week, or there's years that I just made it down to camp, not even when camp was going on. But there has never been a year that I haven't been to Camp Lewallen at least once. And that's a long stretch. Back when I was driving a truck, I was gone all week long.
Yeah.
I got home, I was only home on the weekends, and I had a family and catch up to do with everything else, and I still made time to make it to camp. Mm-hmm. And this will be a part of me till I die.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it is. This place is the biggest family that you'll ever find.
Well, it's a very happy place. I have wonderful memories here, and I feel very blessed to have had scouting and Camp Lewallen be an important part of my life. And so, you know, it's a place where I feel really blessed to have been a part of and experience. And I think through my time in scouting, I've always prioritized going to Camp Lewallen, summer camp with scouts. And I hope pass it on to some other, and I have, and all leaders do that. It's not me. Everybody has that thing, that love of scouting, and then the time at Camp Lewallen. But it's just a special place. And when I walk through here, it's when I come to Camp Lewallen again, every time it's kind of a spiritual experience to me, because remember the stuff. And so I've got this thing I've done for years. I never drive when I get into camp. Always walk to my campsite. On Saturday we get together, do the final closeout. I have all the gear shipped out to the parking lot. I don't carry all my gear out. I have it sent out. But we're standing around the campsite. I like to walk out with the scouts. Those are still around that week and hadn't left already. We walk out of camp kind of together, and so just being able to kind of take it in one more time for the week. And I always leave Camp Lewallen like it's my last time in my mind. You know, if this is it, you know, I always think that way. And when you go out, just a special place. And I feel like the week's success when kids are talking about the badges they're going to take next year. But this year is, you know, wrapping up, and what I want to do next year, I'm going to come back and that sort of thing. But I think it's a spiritual place for me. I see a lot of people who are long gone. I see dead people, but you know, but it's a connection to a very important part of my life, is what Camp Lewallen is and means to me, and the fine people I've had the blessing to be around and be a part of here in this camp. I think that's what it means. And you know, there are people who have made some have been around a long time, some have made huge impacts on Camp Lewallen in a very short period of time. They've had to commit to camp and so forth, and the role everybody has played. But I just when I walk out of here, it's like I say, it's a special place. It has deep meaning, and I'll keep coming, doing my part, and it's there. And so and I'm at the point in my life where it's kind of fun just sit back and see the scouts enjoying the experience, and people doing what I did a long time ago, and I'm comfortable with where I'm at in this, because for me it's a place of peace, quiet, comfort. You know, sometimes I'm in the neighborhood driving down the road, and I'll come in and catch a campfire week I'm not here or something. If I'm in the neighborhood, I'll show up and walk around, and you know, it's a connection to a life that I've enjoyed very, very much. You know.
That last glimpse of the gate in your rear view as you leave.
Is that your? Do you do?
I every summer, I stop and just do one last look at the gate as I leave camp.
I do the same thing. I mean, every time I leave camp, it's kind of interesting. As I drive out, I'll always stop and take one more look back at it, and or before I get in the car, if I'm close, I'll take one last look at Mount Logan and that. Take one more look, and always leave camp like it's the last time. Frankly, I hope I don't know when the last time is I leave camp. But it's special, and then to know other people like you have the same thing. And I don't think my feelings are unique to me personally. I think you and the time you spent here and others, I can tell you other scouters have the same feeling, and that's what's so special about this place. And then it changes lives. All the lives that have been changed and are going to continue to be changed here at Camp Lewallen and scouting in general. Yeah, that one last look is always. Sometimes you're looking and you're kind of relieved, you know, after a while. But yeah,
It's like a see you later kind of.
yeah. See you, old friend. I'll catch you later. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep, that's funny about the gate. I mean, I like that. I feel that exactly. I've done that for years. Yeah. Yep.
All righty.
Hope that helps.
Place where things happen, where youth happen, where people grow up to where they learn about themselves. It's the hardest thing they'll ever do is the first year summer camp, and they learn so much from that. I think that's what it is. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Camp Lewallen, their first year summer camp, whether they're in California or New York. The first year is the hardest. Once they get past that, there's nothing impossible.
Is the never persevere past that Wednesday family night when they could be tempted to go home, just survive the week.
You get through. I mean, I've had scouts go in the military and they come out of basic training. They're like, and I say, the first year of summer camp was the hardest thing you'll ever do. Like, they go in the military, they've already been through this, so they know what the buddy system is. They have to do. They have to camp out. It's all leadership. It's all there.
A place for friends to get together and reunite, reinforce old feelings of friendship, a kindred spirit, and a place to help these that I look at fondly, and a place to help these young scouts get the same thing, help them find friends. My son is no different than other scouts, but what I've seen over the years is people make friends inside other troops, inside other councils, because of their involvement in the Order of the Arrow or summer camp or something. And summer camp, you're on the same campsite for a week, or you're in a dining hall right by you, a kid you would never see 60, 80, 90 miles away. The lifelong friendship you make. My son is 38 years old, and his last year on staff was 07, and he still visits with people from all over the United States because of jobs having moved him. And that's what the friendships you build, the values you learn, all these things, the values in scouting, because when Baby Powell said it, scouting is a game with a purpose. And that purpose is to help young people grow into better adults. And I am one of the guys that have, I guess you'd say, I swallowed the issue. I believe in the purpose that we gave.
Oh, it's coming home. Coming down the highway, that's like going home.
Going down.
It's a sanctuary from outside. Come off that hilltop, it feels like you left the world behind. After the strains and stresses of work, whatever your life stresses might be, it seems like you leave them out there on Highway 67. There's no place for them here. There's no room for them here. So you get a certain amount of inner peace when you pull through that sign that says Camp Lewallen, and you think, okay, goodbye world, I'll see you when I have to go back to it.
It's everything. It's home out here. It's my oasis. No matter what's bothering me or anything like that, I can come out here and I can work through my problems out here. Even with 150 things going on and 1,000 people hollering at me and wanting to do this and this and that. Yeah, I get aggravated sometimes and everything, but I can just relax and I can think through any of the problems that I've been having or anything, and then what hits me the most is on Friday nights. Out of all the campfires and everything, my favorite part of any campfire is closing ceremony or closing campfire when we're shaking them kids' hands walking through that building. And they're when you've got an 11-year-old that I've had in here sitting on this bench talking to him about why he's wanting to go home and using my dollar bill or my anesthesia or Stinky Pete, any of those, just to get his mind off of stuff as he starts talking. They'll deal with that on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Friday, he's crying again because he doesn't want to leave. That right there says a lot about our staff. That says about our kids. So that's what I like most. Changing kids' hearts. So being positive influence.
For me, Camp Lewallen's home. You know, everybody says going back home to Philmont, and I had a blast at Philmont. But Camp Lewallen's home. It's always been home. I step back on property and I just automatically feel like I belong here. You know, I can still walk a lot of these trails with no flashlight. You know, feel absolutely comfortable going almost anywhere on the property.
The forest is your guide.
The forest is my home. Here I have lived from generation to generation. Here I will remain for all time to come.
To me, Camp Lewallen is a place that I can come, that I have lots of good memories that I can associate with very special people, you know, but not only just to come to remember, to come to experience some of the same things in the same context, but also to be around kids and you know, when you're a parent, you're engaged in your own children's activities and you see your kind of activities through their eyes. But out here, you're exposed to hundreds of kids, and you get to watch them enjoy their experience. And that's why I'm always super, I try to keep their experience and what they want to do and see in my mind. Because I want them to have their experience and really enjoy it. I don't want them to try to live my experience, right?
Yeah.
I take a lot of pleasure in being able to be a part of these kids' lives in some small way. So, you know, I can't say that it means one word to me. I mean, it's just, why else would you spend so much of your own personal free time that you could be doing anything else and come out here?
Yeah.
It holds a lot of special memories to me, and where else can you remember those memories while you're kind of living new ones in the same setting and be part of a thread of people and experiences that make you have a common bond with people from all kinds of walks of life. I mean, I remember growing up and there being guys out here, and I really didn't have a whole lot of understanding about what they did at the time. You don't really think about it. But as I got older and I knew, well, gosh, this guy owned a multi-million-dollar company that shipped stuff all over the world. This guy was a lawyer. This guy was a plumber or a welder. Or this guy was a school teacher or a principal or a superintendent. Or this guy was a banker. And you didn't know it, and it didn't matter. But you realized that all those people came out here for one reason, or a primary reason, right? Some come out for, more selfish reasons, I guess, but that you're here to promulgate, to continue an experience for youth to have the same kind of experience,
Yeah.
and meet and have a common goal, a common purpose with folks from all different kinds of walks of life and get along and not care what they really do, Same today. I mean, there are people that come out here and invest time and money that come from all walks of life, and I don't care what they do. It's interesting, and I've made a lot of friendships, and have my kind of work life. There is a thread running from almost every step in my career path, somehow through scouting, from my very first job to now.
Well, I thought it was always a great way to met people from other troops, got your advancement. We didn't have the merit badge universities and a lot of those things that we have now, so the only place that you would get a bunch of merit badges at a time would be down at Camp Lewallen. Swimming, canoeing, rowing, pioneering, all of the I think is a really good thing. But it does take away some of the initiative that a boy has to do to get a merit badge. They can just go to what they're set up for. But it's good to have it set up.
Well, it means I'm occupied with my summer to come out and work with the best people that I know personally, like, and become a family, and it's basically home. I sometimes wish I could just stay here.